Good morning, everybody. This is Kelly with Jemminz. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. All right, so today we are going to have a little bit of fun. I have been so busy trying to work on my women's liner soaps, or just my normal regular line of soap, that I kind of put my men's soaps in the back corner. Not that I didn't want to develop them, but I have been making my new soaps and just haven't had an opportunity to really focus in on my men's soaps and what I want my men's soaps to look like. So we're going to do that today. I found a brand new mold and I have a brand new recipe of my soaps, and I thought we'd go ahead and make that today and do a tester. I'm not going to do a full soap. I want to do the tester first. This is the first time I'm using my new recipe. I'm going to give you the ingredients, but I'm not going to give you the full amount of what those I'm going to give you what the ingredient list is, but I'm not going to give you the measurements. And the reason for that is that is a proprietary information for my website only. And you can, follow along and create your own recipe based on what I'm doing here for your men or women or whatever you want to create soap-wise. There are a ton of soap recipes out there that you can go and get. I am putting together my Patreon website this next coming week or in the next couple of weeks, and I will be having some soap recipes, actual soap recipes on that website. So keep a watch out for that because that is coming up. But for today, we're just going to test and make we're going to make the men's soap. Tomorrow it should be ready, and then we'll test it in a couple of days, and then I will put that all in this video. So watch to the end to see what the effects are of that. So I'm super excited. As you have seen in the previous one or two videos, I have decided to drop the hemp seed out of my line and make just one single hemp seed oil bar with no scent. The reason for that is my area here in Olympia is not accepting my hemp seed oil. I had my soaps down in a shop down in Olympia that gets a lot of traffic. It's downtown, in downtown Olympia, and no one was buying my soaps. And it's not that they didn't like the soaps, because they'd pick them up, they'd smell them. They just didn't want the hemp seed oil. So I'm taking that completely out, and we're making a brand new soap. I am going to also create a goat's milk soap for people that really, really want that goat's milk, but this soap will not have the goat's milk in it. It's just going to be a regular, not an ordinary bar, because I've really formulated it. And I'm taking the hemp seed out and I'm putting in sustainable palm oil. Now, what does that mean? Palm oil originally, at some point in, let me start back over again. Palm oil was being overproduced in the manufacturing world. And so the farmers that have the palm oil was overproducing it. They were not using it respectfully, and it was actually harming the earth and harming the world. And so some of the farmers decided to go to a sustainable crop, and instead of just chopping down the palm and using what they wanted and throwing it away, they have learned how to use all of the plant. Well, part of that is the palm oil itself that I'm going to use here. So the palm oil I use is sustainable. Now, also recently something's come up, and I didn't realize this, but I have been doing a little bit more research, and coconut oil is also being overproduced right now, and it's starting to go the same way as the palm oil. And so people are looking for a sustainable product. Well, just to let you know, I do verify where I get my products from, and I do try to make sure that the coconut oil is a sustainable product. And I try to do organic if possible. It's not always possible for me to get those organic products simply because they're just not available to me. So I kind of use a mix of organic and non-organic items, but there is organic in there. This particular soap will be a vegan soap. It will not have any animal fats or animal product in it, because I'm not using the goat's milk in it. And I will also be doing a really moisturizing loving soap. There's no silk in it, so it's just a basic soap. Okay, so here is the mold that I found. It's kind of cool. Like I don't know if you can really see the shape. Well, when I pull it out, you'll be able to see it, and there's the inside. And I bought 2 soap molds, and I asked my husband, I said, well, which one do you think men would want? And he went to this one directly. He says, men will want this bar. So we're going to make all of my men's soaps in this bar. And so it'll be easy to distinguish my men's soaps from my normal soaps. Now, I have a lot of universal soaps in my normal line anyway. I have coffee and I have lavender, and I have men that love both of those soaps, and they buy them out the door constantly. So we'll be able to, they can still purchase those soaps if they choose to, but these will be specific men's soaps. I am also in the process of doing my kids soaps, and the kids soaps will now be used this recipe across the board. All of my soaps, with the exception of my specialty soaps, my coconut, my olive, and my goat's milk, all of my soaps will be of this nature. So this will all be used, and we're gonna make that here right now. So let's get to it. All right, so we're going to make the lye water up really quick, and we're only doing 1 tester bar. I don't know how filling this is going to be. I may have to, because this is just a tester recipe. I want to try this recipe, make sure it actually works before I go into full production. So I calculated this out. It's not going to be full, and I'm not looking for that at this point. I just want to have a good bar that I can test, wash my hands with, see if it works, see if my husband likes it. If he thinks it's really good and he likes it, then it's going to go into full production. And then I'll come back online and I'll show you some more of how we're going to do that. Possibly. It depends on how busy I get. All right, so back to this. Let's do some lye water. So I need my water, and we're going to put that in there. Oh, I'm going to turn this down so you guys can see me doing this here. Maybe. And for purposes, we're going to clear that out. And I'm just going to put a little bit in here. All right, so we're going to put our water in. Oh, I'm in ounces. I don't want ounces. Shoot. This switched off me. There we go. We want this in grams. My recipes are always in grams. I find that when they get down to that little nitty gritty, they work really well. So I use grams. All right, so let's do this. A little more. There we go. Okay. All right, so now we're going to clear that out. Put that on there and clear it out. And we're going to put our lye in. Where'd my lye go? And while this is heating up, we are going to let it sit. And heat itself up, and then we'll melt everything together. There it goes. All right, so that's that. Okay, so we're going to clear that out because we're going to then do our other items next. So I'm going to clear that out here. So let's get this mixed up real quick. I forgot to pull out a spoon for it. So this is going to just melt itself down a little bit, and this will turn clear. All right, so we're going to let that sit. I have a little water bucket behind me so that can soften up. All right, so I'm going to put that out of the way, put my water out of the way. All right. Yeah. All right. So now I'm going to turn this way. And I'm going to start adding my ingredients into this. And these are going to be my butters. There it goes to clear. I'm going to move this out of the way so I'm not stepping over it. All right, so now we need, and I'm going to mix this all together, and then we're going to melt it all down, so it won't be a problem there. All right, so all of my solids, okay, cocoa butter. I'm going to add cocoa butter, maybe. Ooh, this is really hard. Oh, that one to clear out. There we go. Okay. A little more. Oh, it did go to 3. Okay. So there's cocoa butter. And like I said, there's not going to be a lot in here because we're not doing a whole lot of stuff. And this is just a bar for the house. My husband will use this up So I'm not too worried about it. And then we're going to do coconut oil. Okay. So that was 3. Okay. I forgot to clear that out, so I got to measure that. Oh, okay. We're going to go to 30 something. There. All right, so there's that, right? No, that should have been less. Paying attention here. Okay, so let me take this back out. So that should be... All right, we'll leave it at that. Grab a towel so I can wipe my hands off. Okay, so now we're going to add, we've got cocoa butter, and now we're going to add mango. And I have some really cute little things here. I'm going to clear that out. Okay. Like I said, we're just doing a little bar. We're not doing a lot, so add a little bit more in. All right, so there's that. And then let's do the palm oil, which is next. Clear that out. I have my dog below my feet. Gizmo, what are you doing? Oh, you must have smelled something on the floor. My husband and I cleaned and mopped this weekend, and he's been going nuts. Let's do a little more. Okay, perfect for that. All right, so let's do now the shea butter. So as you can see, it's full butters, which I absolutely love in my soaps. And I know a lot of people have said, well, why do you use all these butters? It's because of the way the feel of the soap is what it is. And I absolutely love the feel of it. Okay, so we have, I'm trying to grab some of my little things down here because we don't need a lot of shea butter. Maybe that chunk right there will do it. I have a lot of these little pieces down and I want to go ahead and add them into the soap. This down 3, and I'm just going to do a little bit more. Sorry if it's a little over. All right, so that's in there. If it's a little bit over, it's okay. On this scale, I can't get 0.5s, so I round up to the next one, and it works just fine. Okay, so that's that. All right, so now let's add our castor oil right here. Clear that out. Okay. Pour this in really slow because this does go up really quick. Okay, good. All right. And now we're going to add our olive oil. And I'm using extra virgin olive oil. You can use olive oil you want. It does not matter. But if you do use pumice oil, you do have to recalculate. So make sure you use the right oil when you're using soapcalc.com. And I need a little bit of that. Don't need a lot. Like I said, we're only doing 1 bar, so there we go. All right, so the oils that we're using in the new soaps are castor oil, cocoa butter, coconut oil, mango, sustainable palm, olive oil, and shea butter. And that's what we have in our bucket here. Yes. All right, so we're going to pull this away because we're done with our measurements. Just get my scale out of the way. And this has gone to nice and clear. So now we're going to add this in and start melting these butters down. At least I hope so. Okay. And this should make a really smooth butter. And my husband requested dragon's blood because he really wanted that, but I could not find my dragon's blood this morning. So I think what I'll do is, since I want to make this for him, I think I will go find that really quick. Okay, so that's done. We're going to let that sit for a second and let it melt, and I'm going to go look for that. Hold on one moment. All right, so we couldn't find the men's, I couldn't find my dragon's blood, but that's okay. And this is really chunky. So my heat transfer method didn't work, but I know this will be good soap. So we're doing this a little off-ball. I don't know why, but the lye water, the minute it hit the butters, it just completely went cold, which I've honestly never had. So I mixed it up really good to get that all mixed. And as you can see, there's chunks in this. But that's part of this. And normally, I would never do that. I would never just not do a full cold process. But because this was a tester, I was trying to kind of speed it up a little bit. So it's got some chunks of butter and stuff in it, but that's okay. This is our tester bar, and as you can see, there's chunks in it. I would never do that in a soap and leave those chunks, but this is just, like I said, this is just a tester, and I'm not going to worry about it. So I'm going to add a little bit of color to it, because we're going to do a scent. London scent. So I'm going to add everything. As you can see, there's a lot of chunks in here, and I would normally not do that. So definitely in the future, I will not, because there's so many butters in here. It takes a while for that to melt down. I'm going to add my kaolin clay, and then we'll measure off the fragrance oil. We'll put that in here, because I really do need to see how this goes. And I do know that this fragrance oil does work in here, so I'm not too concerned about it. And like I said, this is just our tester bar. So this is part of the process of what happens when you're working with a brand new soap, is testing it. You know, stuff like this, like chunks of my butters are still in here. Once I add the lye water to it, there's nothing I can do. I can't go back. I can't heat it up in the microwave. I can't do anything, because that'll accelerate the batter. So I'm just going to leave it in there. It's not a big deal. It's not going to affect much. I mean, it's going to affect some, but not a whole lot. We're going to add the fragrance oil to this. I'm going to heavily fragrance this, so it's not a big deal. Okay, so now we're going to add this up. And I've worked with this particular fragrance before, so I know it's not going to seize anything up anytime quickly. It's just that the sad part is it's just going to have the chunks in it. But in the future, definitely make sure that your oils and butters are completely incorporated and that you don't have any issues like I just had. Now, I do have enough stuff I could go back and make a new one, and I probably will do that just in general as I'm working with the new one. But I just don't like how those, I'm going to see if I can blend this. Oh, no, I can't. I put the batter away. All right, so I'm just going to leave it like this. I'm not worried about it. It smells fantastic. And the scent, the color I'm using is Key West Blue from Crafter's Choice. If you're interested in that color, I've kept it kind of a light blue. And the scent is London for Men. I don't remember where I got this, unfortunately. I put it in these little bottles, but I want to say I got that from New Directions, but I'm not really sure. All right, so let's get my mold out. And let's pour this in. And this will take a good 24 hours to solidify. And I know it may just fill up this completely. Yay. Now what I could have done is just taken those chunks of butters out if I really wanted to, but you know what, it doesn't matter. Like I said, this is just a tester. Oh wow, I know my yield on this. Huh, look at that. I was not sure this was going to fill up all the way, but it did. All right, so it's a little over, but I want to get everything done in the crannies. All right, so all we're going to do is let this sit overnight, and then I will come back tomorrow and we'll take a look at it and we'll see if this actually works. Okay, so if you're interested in going on to soapcalc.com and creating your own soap, the oils that I used in this are, let me turn this up. All right, there we go. The oils I used in this are castor oil, cocoa butter, coconut oil, mango, sustainable palm oil, olive oil, extra virgin, and shea butter. Now, you can go on to soap.com and you can create whatever soap you want to. That it gives a whole list of all the butters and oils that are there, and you can just have fun to your heart's content and create your own soap recipes. It's very easy to do. There's a lot of videos on how to do it. I will have a thing on my Patreon in the future. I'm not going to do it right now, but in the future, of how you can create that if you're interested. There you go. All right, you guys. Thanks so much for joining me today. I will have the upload of the other soap or the demo of this tomorrow. So I will just add it onto this video as we go along. Thanks everybody for joining me. Have a great day. Bye. All right, everybody, welcome back to my channel. We are going to unwrap the soap that we made yesterday. Remember we did the London of Men, and it smells so good. It's so manly. I love this. I should call it manly or something else. It's so good. So let me turn this down just a little bit and let's see what we come up with. All right, so this was the soap that we made yesterday. It's still a little bit on the soft side, but I think that's because of the mold that it's in, and we're going to try and unmold this. Now, I did check it late. Yep, see, it's really, really soft. Okay, so look at that. It's a little bit too soft, and it has been over 24 hours. So my deal is I'm going to leave this out, and the soap will work. However, I need to take my butters and pump up my hard oils, and that will harden this up a little bit. Otherwise, this would have been a really good, I mean, it does do the shape. The scent's good. So the formula is okay. It's just that it needs more time to harden up. And it has been 24 hours. So after 24 hours, this mold is just, it's not ready to come out. So I probably will leave this. I will probably change my recipe slightly to make it a harder bar, so it comes out of the molds easier, especially these molds. I found these molds are really, really hard to pull out. So, and it looks like it's not the edges, it's the bottom that is having the hard time. So I definitely need to go to a harder bar. So that's where we're going to go with it. All right. So thanks everybody for joining me. I truly appreciate your time, and I will see you in the next video, and we will see how we are going to do with that. That's okay. This is a second attempt at my soap. Got to go back to the drawing board just to make a harder bar, and we can do that. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Bye.